Hey guys, what's up? It's Jenna. I am here to talk with you guys a little bit today about Amazon's A10 algorithm. Obviously, selling on Amazon is incredibly challenging because it is very complicated, right? In order to have success, there's a lot of things that have to go right. And one thing that is always really challenging and really hard for people to figure out is keyword ranking, right? How do I get the ranking on the keywords and everything like that? Well, obviously, a big driver of that is Amazon's algorithm, which is being called Amazon's A10 algorithm. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's being called Amazon's A10 algorithm is Amazon never comes out and says, hey, it's called the A10 algorithm, right? So the updates that have happened, experts are calling it the A10 algorithm for those of you guys that do not know. So obviously, the algorithm is something that a lot of people don't talk about. It's something that a lot of people are skeptical about. But it is definitely something that's worth discussing because it's important for you guys to actively be doing things to make sure that the algorithm swings in your favor, right? So, how do you adapt to the changes and what is going on with the algorithm and everything like that? So let's go ahead and dive into it. So a couple of things that really haven't changed and will always be relevant probably regardless of what happens with the algorithm is how important your seller, pretty much how important it is as a seller, your history, right? So what does that seller history look like? So how long have you been on Amazon? What were your sales like during your time on Amazon, right? Do you have consistency? Have you been in stock, right? So that is really important. At the end of the day, metrics are crucial to Amazon. So that is why it is super important to make sure your metrics are always staying strong, you're always in stock, you have those sales consistently, because Amazon is going to reward you for that consistency, right? So that is super important. Now, another thing that is super important is the stuff that's on the PPC side, right? So they want to see strong impressions. They want to see that you are spending the money and spending the time to show up all over Amazon. In addition to that, they want you to have a strong click-through rate. So it's not just about getting the impressions, but also that you have a strong click-through rate. You're getting those clicks, you're getting people to go to your store, right? So obviously PPC is still a pretty big factor when it comes to Amazon's A10 algorithm, right? So again, click-through rate, impressions, still incredibly important when it comes to ranking for keywords. So again, if you want to rank, you most likely are going to have to spend some money in PPC in order to make that happen. Now, another thing that comes into play there, right, is obviously you can drive sales to your Amazon listing, but what about conversion rate, right? So conversion rate is still incredibly important. It's one of the metrics that our team is monitoring consistently just because it is so crucial to the success of your Amazon page. And it is something, honestly, you guys really do have a direct impact on, right? A lot of the times stuff is out of your control on Amazon. Your conversion rate, though, is not one of them, right? There are things you can actively be doing, updating your listing, making it stronger, researching what other people are doing in your niche to see how you can beat them, how you can have a successful listing just like them, right? Conversion rate is something that is completely within your control. So it is important you guys are focusing on that because when it comes to ranking, right, Amazon wants to see a strong conversion rate, right? They want to see the success there. So it is important you guys are tracking your conversion rate because when it comes to ranking on Amazon, it is crucial that your conversion rate is high. And again, staying consistent, right? We don't want it to just spike up and then a week later it spikes back down. We want to see consistency. So hitting high numbers, but doing so consistently, right? If you guys have questions about how to do that, go ahead and reach out to our team. That is one of our specialties for sure. We can really help optimize your listing, really making sure it's as strong as possible, right? So obviously conversion rates are super important. Your organic rankings are super important, right? So what are people purchasing when they search for that given keyword and purchase your product organically? So not a sponsored ad or anything like that, just organically purchasing your product. That is super important as well. Again, that ties in with conversion rate, right? Is that main image drawing people in? Is that title drawing people in from the search results, right? So organic sales are incredibly important when it comes to keyword ranking, right? So pretty much all of this pretty normal, pretty standard, right? But one of the big updates that experts are talking about, and it was one of these things that we came across it, and we went ahead, looked into it further, and most experts are saying now that off Amazon traffic, leading traffic to Amazon, is actually becoming the biggest heavy hitter when it comes to keyword ranking. right? And if you think about it, it makes sense from Amazon's perspective, right? They want you guys sending traffic to Amazon because at the end of the day, right, they want more shoppers on their website, right? So it makes sense that they are making this a bigger part of ranking for your algorithm, right? So this is something, again, we go back and forth with a lot of people on. People are not super pumped to send traffic to Amazon. They don't like it because it makes you blind going into Amazon, right? A lot of times you don't know the results that come from it. So we understand it, we get it. But pretty much what we are seeing also, and again, what experts in the space are saying as well, you know, off Amazon traffic, sending traffic to Amazon is the big heavy hitter in the space. And in order to rank, in order to beat out your competitors, it is something that you have to be doing to some capacity because Amazon sees it. They know where that customer is coming from, and they are going to reward you with that with ranking, right? So obviously, that's really scary to a lot of you, right? A lot of you guys have become masters at PPC, right? Which is still important. Do not knock PPC. It's still going to be incredibly important when it comes to ranking. And that's what makes Amazon so challenging, right? It's not like you can just do one thing right and boom, you're successful. You need to be doing all these different little things right to be successful on Amazon. Now, in order to execute on external advertising the best way, there are a few different tactics, right? So our number one thing we always talk to you guys about is using your Amazon customer list for Facebook advertising. To this day, we are still seeing success with that. We are still able to get that customer information. It'll be their first, last name, and their address. Facebook, majority of the time, is able to find that customer with that information. Now, obviously, with Facebook advertising, Facebook owns Instagram, so you can also run Instagram advertising. So those are really easy ways to run Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising to just your Amazon customers, right? Because we hear a lot of feedback from you guys. I don't want to run Facebook advertisings to Amazon to my Shopify customers because then they're going to just switch to Amazon. They won't come back to my website. Well, if that is you, if that's not what you want to do, we totally understand. That's a really strong argument. Let's take Amazon customers then. Keep them on Amazon. Send them back to Amazon. That is one really solid way to go about it. Now, in addition to that, highly suggest that you guys are building up an email list that is specific to Amazon. If you guys don't know how to do that, definitely reach out to our team. We have some different tactics for you. But it is really important to make sure that you have a specific email list that is for Amazon, because there is going to be a time when you're launching a product on Amazon and you don't want to use your regular email list. That's okay. You have your Amazon list, right? So same thing there. You guys can go ahead and run external ads to those emails, same way you guys would running it to your website, right? So those are some really great ways to send external traffic to Amazon. Now, if you guys are comfortable, some other things that you guys are able to do, you guys can go ahead and get involved with Google advertising. That's a really strong way to send traffic to Amazon. Obviously, Google advertising is incredibly challenging, I would say, although it does have a lot of similarities to PPC. So, there is a little bit more, it's a little bit easier for you guys to potentially learn if you're experts in PPC. A lot of stuff does transfer over to Google. And, from what our experts here at TurnKey say that work with Google and Amazon, they always say, Google is so far ahead of Amazon. So hopefully, when you do learn Google, if that is the direction you decide to choose, you guys can go ahead and correlate those different things and really benefit from, the upscale version that Google is. So again, Google advertising is also a really great way to send external traffic to Amazon, along with the email list, the Facebook advertising, and Instagram advertising. So, again, guys, there are so many different ways to go about this. And then I know another argument always is Amazon. You're going in blind, right? You're sending traffic to Amazon. You don't know if it's successful. You have no clue if they clicked. You have no clue if they purchased. Did they purchase multiple things? Did they keep coming back? You are blind, right, to that. So a couple of different things that you guys could do to potentially get some data behind this so that you can go ahead and optimize those Facebook ads, those Instagram ads, those Google ads, that email list, what have you. There's a few different options, right? So you can sign up for Amazon attribution, which unfortunately I've heard there's a little bit of drama attached to it where there's, their data isn't as accurate as it should be. So I'm hoping that Amazon is getting that feedback from you guys, and hopefully they're going to adjust the program to make it stronger. I would just sign up for it for now, even if you're not running external advertising. The reason why is Amazon a lot of the times will open up these programs and then they will stop enrolling people. So sign up for it now while you can. And if you're not using it right this minute because the data isn't as strong as it should be, that's okay. At least you have it on the side, so it's ready to be used, once hopefully Amazon works out the kinks. So Amazon attribution, highly suggest signing up for it. It is a brand registry only program, but highly suggest everyone signs up for it. Now, another thing that you guys could do in order to track the success of these external tactics is storefront source tags, right? So in order to do this, again, you must be brand registered. But what you're able to do is you are able to send external traffic using a storefront source tag, a storefront URL, and Amazon will be able to give you the results in the back end of how successful that link was. How many times was that link clicked? How many purchases came from that link? Everything like that. Storefront source tags, honestly, if I had to pick between Amazon attribution and storefront source tags, I would pick the storefront source tags right now. They just seem to have less drama. They have better data, and that data is all going to be stored in the back end of your storefront, right? Right where you will create those storefront source tags. So if you guys have questions about how to create the storefront source tags, reach out to our team. They're super, super easy to make. Pretty much you just got to go in the back end of your actual Amazon storefront, right? So those are two really great ways to track the success. Now, if you are not brand registered, you can always go the old school way, which is creating a specific promotional code that is private on your Amazon listing. It will not be visible on your Amazon listing. You make a private promotional code that is specific to whatever external asset you're going after. So your Facebook audience should have a specific promotional code. Your Instagram audience should have a specific promotional code. Your email list should have a specific promotional code, with the idea being that if that customer came from a Facebook ad, they have that specific promotional code, they'll plug it into Amazon and purchase. Now, obviously, that's not foolproof, right? There are probably plenty of customers that will use that link and won't even use the promotional code, because stuff like that happens, right? We see it all the time. We see people click on coupon clippings, for example, and never use them. So again, stuff like that happens. There is mess up. So it's definitely not foolproof, but it is a way for those of you that are not brand registered to potentially have a way to track that traffic and just see how successful it is. So as far as all this goes, I know that was definitely a lot and overwhelming, but one thing it does show is where Amazon is heading, right? So I can't stress this enough, guys. If building an external asset like an email list, a Facebook group, a Facebook page, a strong Instagram following, getting involved on TikTok, what have you, if that stuff is not on your to-do list, it has to be, right? Amazon is showing how important it is to have a brand off of Amazon, to have those assets off of Amazon, to have that following off of Amazon. They're showing how crucial it is to be successful, that you are going to need those items. So I know a lot of you guys aren't super into that idea. It's obviously a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it will make you more successful. I can tell you right now, the clients that we work with, the ones that have the brand, do the best, and it's because they've got that following, they've got those repeat purchase products, they get people coming back over and over again, and that's what you all need in order to be successful. Now, I know we went and covered a lot. I already know I said that, so ignore that. But if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, if you need to work on these different areas, like building up your impressions with PPC, like improving your conversions, or you need advice on how to build an email list, please reach out to our team by going to turnkeyproductmanagement.com/talk. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Again, if you guys need anything, definitely reach out. But that's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys soon.